Right, 26 November 2024. And today I want to give you my evening update. And this is part of our 50-year strategy and also the homecoming. So homecoming is a big part of our 50-year strategy. And I'm very passionate about what I'm talking about here. I cannot sleep without talking about the future. And the future is where all the Zimbabweans are going to leave the foreign countries where they're currently struggling, living in little flats, struggling every day, working, and with no way out. So I know that this is going to sound like a chorus, but it is a chorus that we must repeat on a daily basis. Today I'm going to be very quick because I told you in the morning that when I had my flight this week, I got a bit of a sore throat, but it's getting better. The temperature where I am is totally different from where I'm used to. So I would like to start with the house. So I want you to understand the house that we want people to own. So this is the model of the house that we want people to own in Victoria Falls. So it will be an apartment with a duplex, and it will be at least 3 bedrooms. We are going to have free land, so no one is going to pay for land. No Zimbabwean in the diaspora is going to pay for land. And there is going to be a way that we do this. So the first approach that we're going to take is obviously to negotiate with the rural district councils. And we've identified Victoria Falls as the place where we want to set up our first project that will have at least between 100,000 and 1 million houses. And this is a big, ambitious project, one of the biggest projects by Zimbabweans. And it's going to come to pass. If it doesn't come to pass during my time, it's going to pass during my kids' time. And the reason why we want to do this is most Zimbabweans are not participating in the economy of Zimbabwe. The Victoria Falls is the most popular destination in Southern Africa right now. Every day, people fly into the Victoria Falls. All they do is they fly in, they go and stand at the Victoria Falls, and they go back to their hotels. We want to change the Victoria Falls to be a place where you can live and grow and succeed and grow your family and leave a lot of legacy. And this is possible. So I've been talking to a lot of people. People have started contacting us. Companies have contacted us from Zimbabwe. They want to work with us. And we've got people on the ground. I'll let you know about what is going on. But remember, Kuti, let's say you go to KFC and they're cooking your lunch and you watch them. You will not eat that food. I once went to Pizza Inn and they were cooking my pizza. And I didn't eat it after that, after I watched them cooking it. So that is one of the things we're going to do. We're not going to give too much detail here, but you must know that behind the scenes, a lot is happening. I want to start with the land. There is abundant land in Zimbabwe. Today, all the rural district councils met with Mnangagwa and Chiwenga in Harare. And what is clear to me is that there is a lot of land, but no one to invest. However, you can't invest in all these other areas because you can't gain passive income. The advantage of Victoria Falls is the large number of foreigners who fly in. The flight to Victoria Falls is as cheap as the flight to Harare. So from here where I am to Victoria Falls, 5,000 rands, which is about, if I'm not mistaken, $20 or something stupid like that. So it's a small amount of money that you pay to go to Victoria Falls. There's a whole lot of things to do, but all those things are short term because afterwards there's nothing you can do. The Victoria Falls Stock Exchange has become the biggest stock exchange, and there are massive conferences taking place in Victoria Falls. However, there are no facilities. So with this project that I'm planning here and which we are talking about, we want to put one of the biggest malls in Africa in Victoria Falls. And then we want to put so many people from the diaspora in there that the Victoria Falls airport will become the biggest airport in Zimbabwe, if not in Africa. And also, apologies there, guys. As I said, my fiber is still not up. So my network operator sometimes does crazy stuff. So that is what your house is going to look like. And why is the house going to look like this? We don't want you to live in that little house where you're living now, especially the guys in the UK, the guys in the USA. They are living in tiny little houses. We don't want them to live in those tiny little houses. We want them to do well. So that is the house that we want to do, very cheaply built with innovating building materials, so that you can easily be part of the economy in Zimbabwe. You can rent out your house when you're not there. And if you want to keep your property, you can keep it there. Every 1 or 2 years, you can go home. And this will be developed through a project manager. So we want to look for a project manager, and we're in the process of looking for a project manager. And this will be a professional company. So I'll let you know all these things as we go. Every day I'll be coming here and developing the thing. And we can do this for a year. However, the test is in the actual implementation. I'm hoping that within 12 months, people are going to start having passive income from Victoria Falls. Victoria Falls has got very little accommodation and very little planned accommodation. So most of the accommodation in Victoria Falls is haphazard. There are no services surrounding the actual accommodation, and there is no community. So if you say, let's go to the gym, let's go to church, let's go to the mall and do shopping, you have to go to Zambia. We want to put an end to that. Let's go to a golf club, whatever, cricket, soccer stadium. Those things are not there. And you are aware that in 2027, the Victoria Falls is going to host the Cricket World Cup in Zimbabwe. That is in 2027. So we've started at the right time, 2024. In 3 years' time, we are going to make a lot of money from these projects. But the first step will obviously be to hire a project manager. And this will be a professional company. Quite a number of companies have already approached us. And the duty of the project manager will be to get land, to talk to stakeholders, and to deal with the people that are going to be doing the building. I'm not going to be dealing with the day-to-day issues. My job is just to bring people together. And obviously, there's also the role of funders. If we're going to have the biggest mall in Victoria Falls and bring in 100,000, 1 million Zimbabweans, which big company in Zimbabwe doesn't want to have access to those people? So these are the things that we're going to be talking about. We're going to be approaching local funders. But eventually, the biggest part of the funding is going to have to come from the United States of America, the New York Stock Exchange. If you want Victoria Falls to be the biggest mall in Africa, then you have to go to the New York Stock Exchange and find money there. We're talking billions here. And also we're talking high-speed rail connecting Victoria Falls to Harare. So 3 hours between Victoria Falls and Harare, between 100,000 and 1 million people from the diaspora with free land. And they have to build using the local labor, and they have to build and employ local people. Matabeleland will become the most advanced and developed nation or region in our whole country. This is what we want to do. And obviously, you might have questions about what would be my title. There is going to be a structure. We're going to find lawyers to deal with this. So it's going to be totally legal. You're going to have a contract with the company that I'm going to introduce, our company, National High Speed Rail, already the company has been registered. So this is linked to the high-speed rail. And you're going to own part of the retail, but the majority of it is going to be owned by the investor. So the big investor who's going to be there, who's going to develop. As soon as we have a community and we are there, we're established, you're going to see what is going to happen. So those are the things that I'm talking about. So in short, you must have passive income. Most of us don't have passive income. Most of the people in the diaspora have for their house, but that house is not generating money. And they cannot say how much they're getting from that house every month. And they cannot say when they leave, what do their children have? We want to create a new model for people in the diaspora. And this is based on cost-free land, so no cost of land. And this is something that we're gonna not compromise about. No one should pay for land in Zimbabwe. Land must be free for this kind of development. The only thing you must do is that within 2 years, you must have a cottage on your property, and that cottage will form part of the residential stock of Victoria Falls. And we're also going to have a lot of little malls or small shopping malls all the way between Victoria Falls and Wange. I know most of you are not getting the picture yet, but within the next month, you're going to get the picture. Every day, as I describe what I'm talking about, you're going to get the picture. My job is to see around the corners. So that is my job, to see something before it is developed. So I think I've covered everything. Let's look at some comments. And then Koma will say, you have brilliant ideas. People take this seriously to be success. I think this is how Dubai was developed. Yes, Mkoma, the Dubai portion is very true. Dubai was nothing 50 years ago. When Zimbabwe became independent, Zimbabwe was bigger than Dubai. The only thing we need to do is to make use of what we have, which is a huge number of tourists, the airport at the Victoria Falls, and the proximity to Zambia, Botswana, and Namibia. We need to put a huge mall there so that all these people come over there to the Victoria Falls and want to do it, including tourists. Right now, tourists are coming to Zimbabwe and they're not even living a cent. People in Wange are unemployed. People in Victoria Falls are unemployed. And there's no high-speed rail from Victoria Falls to Harare. So when someone comes to Zimbabwe, they end at the Victoria Falls. We want to push people into inland very quickly, and we want to do it through high-speed rail. But the first thing is you have to bring a lot of people from the diaspora in there, middle-income people. So thank you very much, everyone. I'm not feeling very well today. It's very rare for me. It's because of the weather where I've moved to for this period. So I'm here for the next few weeks. And please go into this form and put in your details. The reason why I'm taking this approach is we want to know where you are, who you are, and eventually there is an agreement or a form that we're going to send you that you agree to participate. When we request free land for you, you agree and want to be, or agree to be bound by the rules, which is that you must develop within 2 years. If we get free land for you, you must not sit on that land. And we want you to develop a house like this within at least 3 years. You must have a house like this using the methods that I'm talking about, the building method that is cheap. You should be able to build a house like this for less than $10,000 if we agree with the contractor or the provider of these building materials. And you make a lot of money from this. People will rent your house. People will come and sit at the Victoria Falls for months instead of what they're doing now, which is to come for a few days and go away. And many people work in the Victoria Falls. We're going to put garages, we're going to put malls, we're going to put schools, we're going to put universities, we're going to put rail. And that needs people. So Harare is going to be like a dump when you compare Harare to Victoria Falls. And this is what we want to do. We are capable of doing it in the diaspora because of our numbers. Do you know that if you want a credit card for 200,000, you can get it. And to build a house like this, it's less than 200,000 rands. So I want to challenge everyone to take this seriously. And on my part, it's my job to make sure that we get the land and we get the correct stakeholders. I want to talk about this. Giving people houses, cars. Maicharamba gets a car, Jakarta gets a car. And you look at Zodwa Mkanja's house, it's huge. You look at Chwenga, sorry, what's this guy? Chiangwa's house. It's big. It's massive. Those guys, in 10 years' time, all the guys are seeing now, who are doing what they're doing now, they won't be there. What will be there is this. 100,000 houses to 1 million houses that we've developed ourselves on free land. That is what is going to exist. There is no one who's going to come to give you something for free. You are going to have to do it yourself. The only thing that you get for free is land, because you are a child of the country, a son of Zimbabwe or a daughter of Zimbabwe. You deserve a free piece of land. And that is what we're going to do to get you that free piece of land. But you have to develop it yourself. The money you're going to make here in 10 years' time, you'll be able to retire. But there is no one right now in Zimbabwe who is doing this. The government is not doing it. They are not developers. They are not funders. We have to create this ourselves. And we have to do this every day. Without fail, we have to do it. And we've suffered for long enough in the diaspora. I'm fed up of staying in the diaspora. And I know you are fed up too. So let's create our community and let's do it on free land. So I'll be giving you updates. We are in the process right now, and we're focused only on that region. And I know that we're going to succeed. The guys in Wange are going to be very excited. The chiefs are going to be very excited. Everyone is watching us with interest to see if we're going to succeed in this plan that we have. And you know that with me, you've got the right person. Every day, we've got 100,000 people coming to Kambakwe Media, including South Africans, Namibians, Mozambicans. They come here and they're watching what we're doing. So let us all work on this and become a pride of Africa. We can talk about other things, but this is the most important thing. This is where the tire hits the road when you have that house. So visualize this house every day. Yourself with that house. Not a little house, kind of like a flat where you have to pay rent. My vision is for you to have a house like this. Double-story, duplex, at least 4 bedrooms, 3 bedrooms with two garages, and probably a room at the back where you can rent out or where you can put your domestic people and so forth. And this is easy to do with this building method that I'm talking about. It will take less than 10 days to build such a house if the guys are talking to come through. So tomorrow we're having a meeting with one of the guys locally, but we're also having meetings with the guys here in South Africa. They've invited us to look at this innovative building method, which is, it uses panels, including the roof. And it's very quick. Within 6 days to 10 days, the house will be complete, the superstructure. Right, I think we've done everything that needs to be done. I've covered everything. I'm unbelievable that I managed to go through this whole session. I was actually sleeping half of the day. So now let's look at the sponsor. Mdara Bautasa, Akabuda. So Move, we've got a strong tree that we've started this week. If you're in Zimbabwe, $50, and you get to 200 grams. If you're in the UK, we've got the new strong version. And I'm going to give it to you at a special 200 grams for $100 until the 15th of December. After the 15th of December, we're back to original 100 grams. Musatongwe ni masalat. Right, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you again in the morning at 5 a.m. as I give you the news roundup. Thank you very much.